Hey guys, Leonix here. I'm joined by Doublelift, week 1, day 2 of the summer split, and they accomplished a 2-0 start in the LCS. How do you feel about that? I guess like an easy 2-0.
Yeah, the games were not particularly challenging. I guess the tip game was really close because it could have swung either way, and the way they play with leads is really crazy. So it could have went really bad. Anyways, basically going 2-0 is nice, but it doesn't really get to our heads or anything. It's just like, oh cool, we went 2-0. Let's just get back to the grind because nothing really changes if you go 0-2 or 2-0. I think before we would have like really changed a lot of stuff based on whether or not we won or whether we lost. Now it's like I think our goals are independent of like winning and losing, so it feels good, but nothing is really going to change with how we're doing stuff.
I know that management already has a little a shift, and you actually have one roster change with Poe Belter. Please tell me how that's been going. Poe Belter in the mid lane, and then the whole subreddit drama with Link and the 17-page ridiculousness. Maybe I can get like a video response for something like that happened.
Well, Link did that on his own volition, and like I just defended myself in a really brief statement, and that's pretty much all I really had to say about it. I mean, I could have whatever written up my own thing, blah blah, blah, deflected everything, but I'll just kind of just let my current teammates and our results speak for themselves. And I trust that like viewers and people are smart enough to make their own decisions and not just take what people say when they're getting really emotional. So all the changes that we made so far, I think are really good. And yeah, everything about it was, I think, really well thought out, and it was like, okay, I think Pobelter was a great pickup, and I think all the decisions have been really good so far, especially with coaching and Pobelter. Like, I'm just really happy with the way the team's going. Like, Tony, or Coach Gray, whatever his called, he's been with the team for a long time, so like he has a lot of insight into how we play, and also he just watches like a lot of games. I think he has a lot of insight into like the game. And then we have a sort of like out of game coach with Chris, and he's just super smart about everything. I mean, he kind of has like a really rich background, and I think the way that he like gives information to us it's like really refreshing. It's not in a way that like any like a gamer would have ever been talked to or been like treated before. So yeah, I think it's like a breath of fresh air for CLG, especially with Eugene, like having a playmaking and a very aggressive carry mid laner versus having kind of a more reserved and supportive type mid laner. Like everything about CLG is a lot different, I think. And my role on the team has changed. Everyone's role on the team has changed. I think it's really good.
I hear like really good stories about your new coach. He gets you up in the morning, and you guys like play basketball, or this is completely different for me in the in esports realm. So can you like elaborate on that?
Yeah, like I think he has a really big, well, he should. He rightly does have a really big emphasis on efficiency and like having us really be engaged in practice, because a lot of times scrims are super inefficient. This has like been thrown around for years and years and years. Like, why is NA scrims so horrible? They're not reflective of like real results. They're really inefficient. They're not only are they time consuming, but like you spend a lot of time out of the game because like remakes and all this stupid stuff. He wants us to have like really efficient practice and like actually make the most of the time that we do scrim. So what he does is he kind of structures the day to make it so we're like always kind of, I don't know, more alert, more focused, more awake. And part of that is being healthy. So he comes from an athletic background, and I have been like doing more healthy stuff, like having a better diet and lifting weights and stuff. And I've noticed a really big improvement in my focus. But he's like making it mandatory for everybody, and I think it's really smart. A lot of stuff he does is kind of crazy. It's like, wow, this seems like very unrelated to League, but then the results just show that we play more consistently. We can translate our results from scrims to LCS a lot better. Like, so far, so good. I know it's only been 1 week, but hopefully when playoffs comes around, it'll really show.
I know that Trick's in the studio, and he's coming around. What's your relationship like with him? I see you streaming all the time and all this analyst stuff. Like, please elaborate as well.
The Trick analyst thing is just a troll. He's a good friend of me and Afro's, and he's a really funny guy. I think he's actually, his persona kind of masks the fact that he's really smart about the game. I think he's really smart about not only the game, but about like life choices, career choices, stuff like that, because he's been in the scene for a while. And Trick is just a really funny and cool guy to hang around with. He's really genuine. I'd never seen him lie or like do anything untruthful to anybody. He's a cool guy, and I like hanging out with him. That's pretty much it. He came in as our guest this week, and it was just fun hanging out with them, talk shit, whatever.
I know just recently, not recently, but a little bit ago, you did this power rankings of like ADs in the LCS, right? Does that power rankings shift from what happened in like the playoffs, like in terms of like what you want now, or I mean in terms of what you're interpreting now in the LCS, scrim results, or even now in the standings?
Well, I really regret doing the power rankings, to be honest, because I think if a player ever does power rankings who's still playing, they should omit themselves, because in my opinion, if you're a pro player, you should always rank yourself first, no matter what. Even if it's like blatantly, obviously wrong. Even if it was like, I don't know, Maple Street or Don't Mash Me or something doing power rankings, they should always consider themselves the best, because if you don't, I don't know, it doesn't feel right. Like, you should always have a winner's mentality. You should always feel like you're at the top. But yeah, power rankings themselves is just kind of weird, because it's a team game, and even more so now with the way AD carry is going. It's just really, it's so much more team dependent than it used to be, where you would be able to like 1v5 or 2v5. It's just becoming more and more of a team game, because it is a team game. And power rankings are pretty hard. I mean, just look at today. God, who beat Sneaky? Oh, Core JJ and Kiwi Kid destroyed Sneaky and Lemon in lane. Like, you could do a power ranking right now and be like, damn, they're better than Sneaky. Sneaky sucks now. Like, it's not true. And when it comes down to it, it's just like long-term results and how consistently you can play at a high level. I think that's just most important. Doing rankings is kind of just really dumb, arbitrary thing that somebody asked me to do, and then I foolishly did. So I guess I just take it all back.
Now, speaking of like ADs on meta and how they affect the game, you know, you personally have like a really good grasp on like where ADs are going in the sense of like a Cinderhulk or tank meta, right? You said that AD doesn't have I guess a lot of effect on the game. Well, it does, but not as a big impact right now. Where do you think like the meta is shifting in terms of for your role?
Well, before, having a CS disadvantage bottom lane was a really big deal. Like having a CS like I'll just get like evolution of AD carry was okay. Bloodthirster was the first item by like on every AD carry, or Bork. They're both insanely broken. Bork used to be like ridiculously much better than it is right now, and Bloodthirster used to be a stacking item. And so having an advantage meant you get that like really big power spike, and then you just completely crush lane. And then it just kind of like slowly dwindled, and it turned into what it kind of is right now, where having an advantage isn't nearly as powerful as it was before. You don't see Trinity Force AD carries anymore, so you can't like rush this big first item. Infinity is not consistent enough to consistently win lane with a CS advantage, so it's just not as important bottom lane to like completely crush lane. And so I've become like a less lane focused player and more just focused on I guess pressuring, roaming, and just making good map movements and decisions. And I think it's working out. Like the way AD carry right now is it's more utility carries. So it's like Kalista, Urgot, Sivir, Ashe. Those are like the top 4 ADs right now. They're all pretty utility focused. They either have initiation or some sort of big CC utility. And I guess it's just how AD is now. I'm not even upset about it. I think it's really skillful, actually. A lot of the ADs right now take a lot of skill to play. So you just won't see an AD carry like 1v5 out of lane because they got a 50 CS lead. What you'll see instead is it's like, oh, well, it's relatively even, and then he gets to roam first and make a play first. And I think that's actually even more skillful than it was before.
Now, I actually want to get out of the NA realm because I actually value and really respect your opinion on the international scene. So MSI was a recent international tournament. And I kind of wanted to get your opinion as the entire international event. If anyone like really impressed you, or you saw any thing that kind of like popped out for your eyeballs, right?
Well, MSI basically just taught me that having all your eggs in one basket, as in like one player, is pretty dumb. It doesn't work. TSM, great example. Their only good player at MSI was Bjergsen. The enemy teams just completely crushed the side lanes and used the pressure to crush him later. I mean, it just goes to show, all right, you can't just have all these deficiencies in your team and then expect to like make up for it by having like this really strong one person or like one thing that you do. Another great example would be like Faker. He's like obviously the best player in the world, and he's just amazing at the game in like every way. He can't carry that team against EDG. Once again, it's just like a team game, you know, and it just comes down to like how well you can work together, not necessarily like having the best player in the world. So I don't know. Every international event, it's just the exact same story. It's like the best team won. It wasn't the team with the best players who won. And NA is pretty salty right now because we got stomped, and we should be because it's pretty embarrassing to like just not win a game. Or actually, we won one game against Turkey. That's like just super embarrassing to be part of the scene, and I hope like it's like a kind of my dream to like be the team that comes out of NA and does well internationally as like the breakthrough. Like I want to be the first team. I want CLG to be the first team to come out and like do well in an international tournament. So it was like bittersweet. Like NA sucks, but at least we have our chance still.
I know that at the beginning of a split, I always like to ask a player where they would like finish at the end of the split. Like for instance, I asked like Adrian from like Impulse, and he was like, "We're gonna finish 4th," just like as a guess, and they actually finished 4th. So I kind of want to get your power ranking of like where you're gonna like end up on the standings for this specific split, because I asked Darshan, and he was like, "We're number 1 regardless."
Damn, Darshan's at number 1. That's a hard one to follow, man. Well, in another interview, Pobelter said he likes to keep expectations low, so you either meet or exceed them. So
you aim for the moon, but if you miss, you shoot beyond the stars, right? Like,
you could do that. First place, damn. All right, it's like a crapshoot either way. So yeah, I'll just go with first place. I'll just follow Darshan's lead. He's one of our main shot callers now, so I'll just follow the leader. Yeah.
All right, shoutouts, plugins.
Yeah, shout outs to our sponsors. Oh, first off, shout out to our fans. Thank you guys for supporting CLG. Thanks for supporting me. And to our sponsors, Twitch, Razer, Cellucor, iBuyPower, and HyperX.
All right, if you want more coverage just like this, be sure to check out SK Gaming on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. Other than that, till next time, thank you, Doublelift.